This podcast is intended for an adult audience over the age of 18. It contains explicit language and sexual situations. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed belong to us and are not representative of any employer, organization, or other individual. We are not experts. This podcast is not intended to be taken as professional advice.
Welcome.
Our safe word is pineapples.
I'm Dan.
I'm Sue.
Come with us as we navigate the lifestyle,
discover kinks,
and share what we've learned along the way. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is episode 5, because we did episode 4. Sorry we didn't record in the last week or so, but I was feeling under the weather, but I'm about 95% now, so we're doing good. Yay! On to the new episode. This episode, we're talking about, what are we talking about again?
Are we swingers?
We're talking about are we swingers?
What is a swinger? And,
yeah.
And are we actually swingers?
Well, we've been called a lot of things. We've been called swingers, not swingers.
Yes.
It seems to vary. The definition of swinger seems to vary drastically, no matter who you talk to, depending on who you talk to.
It can, yes. So it's a part of this. I went on the internet to see what the internet says.
The internet never lies. There's
everything's right. If it's on the internet, it must be true.
I hear Abraham Lincoln said that. It's important.
So, and I just wrote down the stuff that I found amusing. For example, the Oxford Dictionary, the practice of engaging in group sex, or the swapping of sexual partners within a group, especially on a habitual basis. I feel...
One time doesn't count.
That
was just a one night, you got crazy with your friends.
Right, it's just a one-off. You're not a swinger unless you do it habitually. You gotta form a pattern.
Do it all the time. every third Wednesday. It's like a PTO meeting. Scheduled out from 6 to 9 p.m. We're going to go in.
But the most common theme when sites were trying to define swinging is that swingers are in committed relationships.
Yes.
And that they engage in swinging as part of their committed relationship. The having sex with other couples, going to events to meet people.
Swapping partners.
Right.
But does that count not swapping partners? Because
Yes. Everything that I looked at said that, parallel play...
Still counts as swinging.
But
then I've also seen, because you said partners in committed relationships, so what about, single people? Because now we're throwing in there, unicorns and dragons and stuff like that. So...
And that's where it starts to get a little gray, because the base definition is couples, and then it opens up to, the singles could be included, too.
Do you know the password? Come into the room. It's like a speakeasy.
And this is where, for us, people have been like, well, maybe you're not swingers, because we regularly play with single guys.
We're not really into single women, and that's mostly you. It's kind of me too. Really, it doesn't do a whole lot for me to see you with another woman. I was actually talking to one of our friends who you had recently kind of played with. Mm-hmm. She ate you out, and it was really hot for me. And she was asking me, and she said, I thought that wasn't something that you enjoyed. And I thought about it, and I said, it's not really something I enjoyed, but I enjoyed that because both of you were enjoying it. You both wanted to do it, and you were both enjoying it. So that's I was enjoying.
Right, and for myself as someone who is non-visual and I don't enjoy watching, I do enjoy you with other people. It's your enjoyment with other people. So if you're having a good time, I'm having a good time.
Understandable. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah. That seems to be what I enjoy as well with you. I mean, I enjoy you. I am more visual than you are, so I do enjoy seeing you with other people. But it all goes down to the base of enjoyment. Is everyone having a good time? And I think that's where we define what we are, because I don't even think we would consider ourselves swingers. Like we are, but we're not. But it's
So-
more like
My favorite definition or
Okay.
like comment on swinging is swinging is a team effort, and I think that that incorporates us.
can we get jerseys? I want jerseys.
We totally should.
Some specially made team jerseys. I want to get one of those big fingers. Just-
But that was my favorite thing that
It's-
I read.
well, what the base? It seems the base.
My next favorite was,
Yeah,
and again, because these are all sites taking it very seriously.
very seriously.
And it just adds, or at least for me, it's an extra special layer. It is an orchestrated manner of like-minded, sexually curious individuals engaging in activities as a means of enhancing their relationship.
That sounds like a contract. Did a lawyer write that? It sounds like a lawyer wrote that.
Right, but within the big words, it's like-minded people getting together to have a good time.
That's essentially what it is, and it's where, like, you and I have issues with people that really want to define stuff. I was talking to a guy recently, and he was asking me, are you a cock? Are you a stag? And I told him flat out, I was like, I think I'm closer to a stag, but we don't really go for labels. We don't really go for
No.
like, you need to check this box and this box and this box, or else you're not. And that's one of the things that people have, when they've said that we're not swingers, it's because we're not checking some arbitrary box that they have set up. They've set up this box is you have to check this. If you don't check this, then you don't qualify.
Yes. Yeah. And it's become a lot more prevalent, I think, recently. Because when we first started out in like the mid 2000s,
2010s?
it's
So-
like 2007. So yeah.
I don't even remember anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 2007. When we first started out, I didn't really feel this pressure to define our sexual play.
No, I don't really. Well, also when we first started out, I mean, really, we just started with finding a single guy on our own, and then we started with looking for couples on our own. We went to a site that was a swinger site because that's where you found them. But aside from that, like, there really wasn't, like you said, there wasn't a push to, we have to define this. This is, are you a swinger? And it seems now like
It-
some of, and I mean, I don't want to bash older swingers because we have friends that are older swingers, and we have met so many lovely people and awesome people doing this, but there is like a small subgroup of like older swingers that are, I don't know if they're trying to, I think you said it, that they're trying to reclaim the taboo, because it seems that the more you see about swingers and ethical non-monogamy, it's coming more to the forefront.
Yes.
It's no longer as in the shadows as it used to be.
Right, which
And-
takes away that taboo.
Yeah, it seems like some of this small subset of people are trying to reclaim that taboo. Like, you can't do this if it's not taboo. And the rest of us are going, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do. And I've met so many awesome people. I have so many cool friends now. And I mean, hell, we're traveling now with people that we've met in
Yes.
the lifestyle. And we're having fantastic adventures that we never probably would have even considered. For crying out loud, we're going to Romania next year for like 2 weeks. And yeah, we're going to have like some sexy fun play, but at the same time, you and I are just as excited about going to see Dracula's castle. Like, yay, we're going to have sex, but we're going to Transylvania too, so yay. So, and it seems like younger people, like, that's the kind of thing they want. They want to be able to go, yeah, I fuck these people, but at the same time, we also have fun outside of that. We're hanging out. We're doing fun stuff. We're having a movie night. We're all coming over and, eating popcorn and laughing at the worst movie we can find on TV or something like that.
Right, yeah. And there's definitely a pushback from
a small group of the community where that is not
allowed.
allowed.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
You're not part of the group. You're not part
Right?
of the
We're
clique.
breaking the rules.
Yeah, the
by doing-
rules, which a lot of people, when they talk to me about joining, how do I become a swinger? How do I get into this? And I'll tell them, like, there's no right way to do it, but there is a wrong way.
Yes.
And what I mean by that really is, if you're enjoying it and the people you're with are enjoying it and no one's getting hurt and no one's boundaries are being broken and you're just enjoying yourself and having fun, that's the right way to do it for you. Mm-hmm. You're
Right.
doing it the right way. And if anyone comes in and tells you you're doing it wrong, screw them, because it's, that's their opinion. But there is people that say, like, there is some stuff that you should really follow, like the rules you should follow going into it. But there's some people that go, but no, you didn't do X, Y, Z, so it doesn't count.
Right.
As if, and some of that involves things like special outfits you have to wear, or like you have to have alcohol involved, which is, it's nice to see that a lot of places and a lot of younger people are foregoing alcohol. Mm-hmm. They're really pushing back on the amount of alcohol that they have when they get into these situations, because consent.
Yeah, consent is super
Consent
important.
is
and-
becoming even more important. So I think, especially even after the Me Too movement, like the Me Too movement really pushed that whole consent out there and made people more aware of not just consent of other people, but their own consent. Like, I can't give you consent if I'm not sober, type stuff.
Right.
And again, anyone who likes alcohol, I'm not against you. I'm not bashing anyone that likes that, or even some of the people that I understand you need to have a drink or two to relax, or because we're not social. And you sometimes have to do something that just helps you just calm down. And I understand that, but it's when it gets
In my
excessive.
case, it's, orgasms.
Orgasms
Very
calm me
relaxed
down.
after.
We do that every time before we record. Make sure to give you at least one orgasm so we can move on with the recording. It works perfectly.
It works,
It's fantastic.
right?
I will sacrifice and give you an orgasm before every recording, just so you know. But yeah, then you get all kinds of terms in there. Like, I've been called a cuck because, well, we have content out there. We have a lot of content out there, and I really enjoy watching you. I enjoy filming you, and I enjoy sharing those videos with the world, because
Yes.
that gets me off. And the thing is, I'm recording. So when I'm recording, I'm not usually in the videos. Occasionally I am. They're not really my favorite videos because it's weird angles and everything like that. But because I'm not in the videos, immediately people assume I'm a cuck. And then when I push back on that, some people get belligerent.
Yes. People can get very upset when they're trying to put us into their perceptions.
Some category that they have.
Right. And we tell them that, they've misunderstood.
It's already misunderstood. And again, I think that goes back to, this is my play. This is how we play. Just because you don't play that way doesn't mean that what I do is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to say what you do is wrong either. I will call you out on being wrong, though, if you're trying to push others to do what you do and say that this is the only way.
Yes.
I will call you out on that, because it is not the only way.
No, it is not. And it can make things very difficult for people coming into the lifestyle when there's this preconceived idea of things that need to be in order for it to count. Because we're all different. And, and all of our relationships are different. And what works in one relationship isn't going to work in another relationship. Lots of couples are comfortable playing in separate rooms.
We are not at all.
And we are not. There is an element of this that for us to have a good time, that requires us to be together because our partner's enjoyment
Is part of our enjoyment.
is part of our enjoyment. And I can't tell you're enjoying it if you're in a different room.
I mean, if I was making a lot of noise, but then that goes into the weird like porn noises that people assume they have to make.
Yeah, but you don't make a lot of noise.
I
So
don't. no.
obviously, like if you were in another room and all of a sudden you're making a whole bunch of noise,
He'd come in and be concerned.
I would be concerned. I would have to stop what I was doing. I would have to go check on you.
Is
What-
everything okay? Are you
what is-
murdering my husband in the other room? What is going on?
What is going on?
But other things like I've had couples contact us and they've gotten upset because you don't want to put on like fishnet stockings in a mini skirt and a thong and like stripper heels and makeup.
Well, I would love to wear makeup, but it makes my face itch. So
I don't like new makeup. I'm not a big fan of makeup. I really am not.
which is fine. It all works together.
Yeah.
But
Well, excessive makeup. I'm not a fan
Right.
of excessive makeup.
I'm also not a fan of for myself personally. And you know, I don't like smudged makeup.
No, that's weird.
And that's what's gonna happen if you're wearing makeup.
Well, not
during
just that, I
sex,
mean-
is it's just gonna get everywhere, and it tastes bad, and I don't want that in my mouth. But but for myself, and again, this goes back to the alcohol and swinging, where people see it as a way of relaxing their nerves. I see what I'm wearing as a source of my own comfort. So I'm not going to wear somebody else's costume
Oh yeah, frequently you
because
you
it's going to make me uncomfortable.
Frequently you show up and you're like in sweats and like a t-shirt. You're like, I'm ready to go.
Right? Well, and then again, it depends on
Well, it
the
depends on what we're doing.
situation.
Yeah, you
It
know.
definitely.
If
but
we are going out somewhere beforehand, you'll dress a little bit nicer, but you're not also dressing up just to go to like a hotel to meet somebody.
right.
So you're not putting on a costume.
No,
right?
I'm not going to put on a costume. They're getting me. I will look nice. I'm going to.
Well, at the same time, that's not you.
No, it's not.
I have never seen you in like a mini skirt and like fishnet stockings and a thong and like
No.
stripper heels. I've never seen you in that ever. So
No.
it would look weird to me to see you in that outfit. Not to mention, I love you, but you're clumsy as hell. So I'm pretty sure you put on like 8-inch stilettos and you're going down somewhere. We're twisting an ankle or something.
Well, it's been a while.
It's been a hot minute since you wore any kind of heels.
It's been a hot minute since I was a dancer. So those muscles are definitely not as strong as they once were. But you are talking to someone who at one point
This is true.
wore point shoes on a regular basis.
This is true, but it's also
So-
been like 30 years since
Yeah.
you did. So
Yeah, those muscles need to be. They're a little. But I can wear heels without falling on my face. Thank you.
But one of the things that I've seen when the people want to put us into a box, like this is what you have to do, is, and I've seen it also with people that are coming in and questions, because I get a lot of questions from husbands or boyfriends that want to get into this. A lot of the boxes that need to be checked, like the outfits and all this fun stuff, they kind of negate the man. Like, I'm not part of this. I'm not really, like, you have to have this outfit on. I could come in wearing jeans and a t-shirt and stuff. I'm not actually part of this. Like, you are the only fantasy and that's it. And I like being part of everything with you. I want to be
Yes.
part of, the attractive couple. I know you're going to get a lot of the attention. I understand that. It's like inevitable that the woman usually ends up getting most of the attention when it comes to finding new partners or something like that. The woman is almost always front and center because they get the attention. And men don't always get that attention. And I understand that. And I've come to terms with that. But at the same time, it's not all about you. Like, I am still here.
Yes, you are.
Like, I have to have a role in this in some way. And that, I mean, that goes into all kinds of other stuff. We can get into the other episodes as well, but that gets to other kinds of like wife poaching and everything like that, which is a whole other topic. But then we get into stuff like people contacting us. They want to be your bull. Like, I don't.
Again, and this just from myself, I'm not a huge fan of like
Terms.
and labels, and so many of the labels in the kink communities are so dehumanizing, and I have a real hard time with them. So like, I understand when like the term bull is used within a cuckold situation, but out of that, and again, we're not a cuckold
We're
situation.
not a cuckold situation, no.
I'm not,
I always participate, and always, even if I'm filming. This is where I've told some of those people, like, you've formed your perception of what I am based on a 1 minute clip.
Yes.
Do you think I only have sex for 1 minute?
Right?
Like, that's horrible
terrible.
sex.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's like 2 hours. I put the camera down after a little bit.
right? We just snippets. It's not the whole thing. But yeah, so I'm not looking for bulls. It just seems so.
There's 2 types of guys that will refer to themselves as bulls when they contact me.
Mm-hmm.
One type is the guy that says, this is the role that I play. I've played the role of a bull, and, you know, whatever you're going to go for, that's fine. But these are, it's like, this is what I've done. So here's
Right.
what
I understand it in that context.
Yeah. And then there's the other ones that come into the situation already like trying to humiliate me and like demand your phone number and stuff like that. And I'm not going to give that to you.
Absolutely not.
See, we have a vetting process, a big vetting process. And it's funny because it starts from the initial contact.
Yes.
And that should be for everyone as far as I'm concerned. Anyone that contacts you, they should know that they're immediately getting vetted as soon as you contact. The first contact you give to me
right
is when you're vetting. I'm starting to vet you.
Assumed that people are going to be vetting you as soon as you contact them.
But I've gotten so many guys, and they'll humiliate me and everything like that. And I go, that's not what we're into. I'm not interested in this. And then, you know, well, how do you guys do this stuff? Well, we go through a vetting process, and they go, well, how do I get into the vetting process? You're already in it, dude.
Yeah.
You've already failed.
Yeah,
You know?
and I can't. And again, like we're not a cuckold couple. I couldn't put myself in that situation, but most people aren't 24/7. 24/7
Oh, God, no.
is, you know, that's a huge commitment. There's a lot of like mental strain in that sort of a situation that needs to be accounted for. So I can't imagine even your normal cuckold couple is looking for you to come out right out the gate, you know,
Well, no, everything
with like that.
everything in the lifestyle, everything is based on trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's all trust. I don't trust a single person the first time I meet them. At all.
Good Lord, no,
I can't trust you because I don't know anything about you. I have no idea who you are. I don't know anything about you. And again, the internet, you can say whatever you want on the internet. So you say, I'm so-and-so, this is my thing. Fine. But if I have to meet you, I have to know about you. In some way, I have to get to know you a little bit and before I can make my judgment on how I feel about you. And this trust is completely broken when I have these people. And it's come to my belief, and I'm not saying this about all people who claim to be bulls, but for the majority of people who self-describe them as bulls, I found that they're just jerks. Like, that's all they are. They're just jerks and douchebags. And they just see you as a sexual item that they can have. And, like, I'm the seller. Like they're just coming to me for like, I need your permission to fuck your wife, so I'm gonna go meet up with her, right? We're gonna date or something like that, and I'm just gonna fuck her and stuff.
Right.
And some of that does come from our videos that I post out there, and that goes back to also the 24/7. Like people, God, I can't tell you how many people contact me, and they think you're just laying around naked all day waiting to have the sex all the time.
Right. Nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do but just have sex all day long. I just got recently some guy was talking to me. What are you doing now? I'm getting ready to go to bed. Have you had sex yet? No, not yet. We have lives. We do stuff other than sex. I read books. I watch movies. I relax on the TV like everyone else. I have a cup of tea. I eat food.
Right.
We leave the house at times. We have jobs. And that's something that I've seen a lot of people that are already in it, and then newer people coming in, and even some of the older people, the way they talk to them and the way they contact them is they've made this lifestyle their life. That's all their life is. Like they're constantly trying to find partners and stuff like that, and it just gets overwhelming for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's overwhelming for us. We've been doing this for almost 20 years. It gets overwhelming.
It does. I will have to take breaks. There will definitely be times where I'll be like, this month, we're not doing anything.
Now, I've taken breaks. I've stepped back from even, like, I'm not even going to go on my phone or anything like that today at all because I don't want to talk to anyone. Just a constant bombardment sometimes. And, again, we've been rejected for a number of reasons. Some of them are stupid. Some of them are legitimate, like, we just don't match.
Yeah.
But some of them, in my opinion, are...
Well, I mean, it's always gonna... When you're the one being rejected.
Yeah, you always feel like a little...
Right. And so... There's never going to be, like, the perfect reasons to reject someone.
There isn't.
So everyone's always going to have their preferences. I think, and again, for us, the problem comes in where, like... We don't hide anything.
No,
we're very open.
Pretty open book.
We will, answer any questions that anybody has, and we're pretty upfront about a lot of stuff. So when we think everything's going well, and then like suddenly we get rejected for something that we made sure they knew up front.
Yeah, that's when
it's very frustrating.
Annoying and frustrating, especially if we spent time talking to them. Like it's not their first conversation together or something. Like we had that couple that they contacted us.
Mm-hmm.
On all of our profiles, I'm a bisexual male. You are either straight or demisexual woman.
Right, depending on
the profile. Some
sites don't give us the option to list that I'm demisexual.
But you're either straight or demisexual, and we had that couple that they contacted us, and it was like a week talking to him. We talked mostly to him because he was the one contacting. A lot of times it's the guys talking first, anyway. No problems. Everything was going out. I made sure multiple times. I was like, you do know. And I was like, look, I'm not interested in you at all. And that's fine. I'm just, it's out there. I put out there that I'm bi so that people can't come back later on and say that I lied to them or I like misled them in some way.
Yes.
That's why I have it out there right out front.
Yeah.
And he was fine. He's like, yeah, I totally understand that. He's like, I've been curious. Maybe if things are going, I was like, that's up to you. I respect all your boundaries. That's fine. And then we got into a group chat with his wife, and things were going okay. And then I didn't even know how she found out I was bi.
I don't know how she didn't know from.
I don't know how she didn't know, but she found out I was bi. Shut it down. Just shut it. I'm not attracted to bi males, and then just shut it down and blocked us from like everything. And I was like, okay, what did I miss here?
Yeah, no, and it does. It feels like
it's almost like a little gut punch. Like,
yeah.
What the hell just happened?
Yeah, it always is when it's.
We've been rejected because you're too short. I'm too short. We've been rejected because we will not
shave all of our body hair off.
Yes, I am not. I'm sorry. I
Won't
can't.
happen.
I don't shave.
I will.
I trim.
We trim.
We trim and we clean. We are showering. We are trimming and stuff like that. But I am not shaving.
As far as I'm concerned, body hair is a personal choice, and
As long as it's
you
clean
get to
and
right.
and,
You get
know,
to make your personal choice for yourself.
yeah, you have to live with it the rest of the
Right,
time,
you
not
don't-
just
I
during
don't
the
have
sex.
to. I'm, my body hair is my body hair.
The rest of the week, you have to live with that
right,
body.
exactly.
Even I don't have to live with your body hair the rest of the week. That's all you.
Right, I'm the only one it's touching. 'Cause
But
it's
yeah.
with me. all
We've
the
been rejected
time.
because we don't shave. Like, I'm not gonna shave for you. I'm sorry.
No, I will not.
Or nair.
Right,
I will trim. I'll make sure I'm nice and clean and trim and everything like
Exactly.
that. But I'm not gonna shave anything for you.
I shaved once to see what the big deal was, and I hated it, and I'm never gonna do it again.
I shaved. I tried it a couple times because reasons. I don't even remember why. When I was younger, I tried it a couple times, and then the last time where I decided never again was actually I wasn't even trying to shave because I used to be a competitive swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have our body hair all season long, and then shave or nair
Right
right before the championship, so that you lose. It's literally like hundreds of a second, but those hundreds of a second can count. And it was my first time ever using nair, and I read the instructions, which were very vague, and they told me to just rinse off in a tub of water, and I was like, okay, can do this, and I did, and then I realized that I'm not actually rinsing off; I'm just now soaking in nair. So things started burning, and I lost hair in patches in various areas down there. So I was like, never again. Like it's not happening. So I was that was the last time I ever was like, I think I might shave down here. Nope, never again. But again, I like the hair I have down there. It's nice, nice little
Right.
gives me a little breakup of color.
Neither one of us is extremely hairy either.
No, we're not. I mean, for me as a bisexual male, I will say that I'm not a huge fan of a lot of body hair at all. It's just not something I enjoy, but I am okay with it if I know the person. Depends on knowing the person and all that fun stuff. I can get over that, but like right off the bat, if I'm with a guy and he takes off his shirt and it looks like he's wearing another shirt underneath it, that gives me pause. I can't go from there.
And I'm fine.
You're fine. I mean,
Body hair doesn't bother me at all.
I know, but this is us, and we're unique. We're not unique in this situation.
No.
But a lot of people feel
body hair preferences.
a lot of people
very-
feel pressured now to shave by some other people within the lifestyle. Like you have to shave. You cannot be a swinger if you don't shave your privates and everything like that because it's gross or something like that. Or it's unclean.
Yes. Oh God, no. And I mean that pressure pops up even outside of like the swinging and like king communities.
Not so much for the men, but definitely for the women. Yeah.
That if you don't remove all your body hair, you're unclean in some way. Oh yeah. No, that is very much there in the background. But it's not. But yeah.
No, and we trim. We've been rejected for that. I've been rejected because I'm a bi male. We've been rejected because you're not bi.
Right.
Even though
That one happens
all
lot.
the time.
All the time.
Even though, again, we've gone in and we're very open. We're very honest to people, and I'll be talking to couples, talking, and we're having a good conversation. And then they'll slyly keep putting in there that like, well, my wife is curious, or my wife is bi, and your wife is hot, and I just have to come up with like, well, my wife isn't bi, so she's not
It's not gonna happen.
not really gonna do anything with your wife, just so you know.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times I just end up getting ghosted.
Yes.
They just drop the conversation.
Right. And it's very upsetting for me, and not that I'm being rejected because I'm not bi, but and like I like to joke, especially like the that we belong to for swingers. All the swingers are 6 feet tall, and all the women are bi.
Yeah, all the men are 6 feet tall, and all the women are bi. Every single one.
Every single
No,
one.
they're
There's
not.
no. But right, and that can't possibly be true. And so when I meet women who are bi,
Mhm.
generally there's no problem. There's no pressure. There's no concern. It's not a big deal to them.
No,
But-
I mean, I have a similar thing when I meet guys that are curious. I'm curious. No, you're not. I'm sorry. Like, most of the guys that have come to me that are curious are usually curious to get to you.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, there's so many like bi males who are bi for me. But like the point I was going to make is that when it comes to women, when you're like, oh, well, I'm curious, they're curious about another woman going down on them and another woman doing things to them.
Yeah, they're not curious about them doing stuff to you. I mean,
No.
occasionally you get one or two that's like, I thought about trying this at some point, but most of them, I'd say majority of them are
They're
looking for you to do stuff to them and see
Right.
how they like it.
right. And
Or the other...
and again, you know, I mean, people are looking to like fill out like their sexual fantasies and stuff, but
yeah.
you know, and this is why we put out information about ourselves, and that's why it's upsetting to me is like that information is out there. You know, we make it very clear that that's not something we are
Interested in doing?
interested in doing. And so when they keep coming and then getting upset that I'm not like magically, oh my God, I'm suddenly bi now. It no, it doesn't work that way.
I wouldn't care if you were bi all of a sudden. It wouldn't bother me at all.
Well, no, it wouldn't change anything for you.
What if I was suddenly bi? Oh, wait.
That doesn't change anything either.
I think it indicates this. Would I be straight then?
That
Two
that-
bis equals a straight.
I don't think that's how that works.
That's math.
That's not. I don't think bi is an equivalent of a double negative.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a double positive, which is still a positive.
I didn't do good in math, so don't worry about that. Math was not my subject. But no, so then the other thing with a lot of the bisexual women, quote bisexual women that we've come into contact with, is it's a term I don't like. It's that bisituational, which I hate. I hate that term so much because
no, it's very
like you said, it implies there's some situation that
There's a- right.
suddenly you'll be bi in.
right. They
And-
just got to get the right cheat code.
Get the right cheat code, up, down, left, right, A, B. They plug that into your nipples, done, you're bi. That's how that works. I call those people performance bis because they are the ones that, for women, especially for women, are the ones that want to contact us and they want to get into. The women are going to get together and they're going to play. They're going to make out with each other and they're going to grope each other while the men stand off and watch and they get all horny. And then at some point, the men are going to jump in and get this party really going. And again,
Right, because two women couldn't get the party going and like finish the party all by themselves.
you can get the party going all on your own. You don't even need my help. You just boom, Sue's the life of the party, which is ironic, just so you know. Because you are not before the sex happens.
I am.
It's magical to watch, like that switch happen. I don't even know how it's like 1 second you are your gorgeous, sexy, like kind of shy, demure self. The next second you're like, "Where's the sex? We came here for the sex. Let's have the sex. Let's do the sex.
I showed up here for a reason.
Show up here for a reason. Let's go." But no, like I call them performance bis because it's for performance, and a lot of them don't even seem to want to do it, but they've got this notion
That
going
they
back
have
to like
to.
the boxes need to be checked. Like you have to, like this is how play happens. you have to start off with the women making out with each other and then groping each other while they're in their heels and their short skirts and their fishnets and their red lipstick, and they're making out with each other and they're groping each other, and then the men are going to come in there and then this is going to get going.
Mm-hmm.
But the heels don't come off, which has always terrified me. I've only had sex with one woman who refused to take her heels off, and it was terrifying because I thought I was going to get hit in the head at any moment with an 8-inch heel. And it was...
It wasn't 8 inches.
All I could think about is, did you ever see that movie, like, Elvira in the 80s? You know, she had that movie, Elvira Mistress of the Dark.
I've
There's-
seen...
There's a scene in
Some
that
of-
where she's attacked, like, she's being attacked by a man, like the villain, right? And she takes her heel off and she throws it at him and it sticks in his head. And that's a memory that I have from childhood. And every time I think of like a woman wearing her heels during sex, that's the image that comes up in my mind. It's just this guy standing there with a heel sticking out of his forehead. It does nothing for me sexually, surprisingly.
It's crazy how trauma does that.
It's a good movie. You should go watch it. So. Elvira's awesome.
Elvira is awesome.
It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like this is how the play has to start. And we go in like, no, it doesn't have to start that way.
Doesn't have to start that way.
For us, play is almost always awkward. That for like when you get in there, it's almost a
Well, with
weird, like
new-
awkward. Even with the new, even with some of the people we play with all the time, like we'll just start talking and shooting the shit and getting to know each other and catching up on stuff, and then at some point we're like, we came here for sex, didn't we? We should probably have sex. So let's get into this.
Right?
But it's even more awkward when you meet someone for the first time. Like this is a new thing. People sit around there staring at each other like, "Yay, what do we do?" I mean, we've done a number of things. One of my favorites is still the strip heads up, which
That was fantastic.
that worked really well. For those who don't know, heads up is a game where you have to hold a card or your phone on your head and it has something on it, and everyone has to get you to guess what's on the card. And I forget how we played it. If you got like 8 or so right, you didn't have to strip, and someone else had to strip off an item of clothing that you got to choose that person. And then if you got under 8, you had to take an item of clothing off. And for whatever reason, whenever we play games, I always end up being the first one naked. I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure every time we play the game, I end up naked first.
You usually end up naked before me because
I'm bad at this.
no. I think it's so like when you're the one giving me the clues, I get it. Doesn't matter what it is,
It's a psychic connection we have.
right? I can get it. But when I'm the one giving you
Oh
the
God,
clues,
you are horrible. You start using hand signals sometimes. I'm like, what are we, a third base coach? What is this? And you only have like 10 seconds to get it, so I'm trying to decipher you over here. Sign language at me. I'm like, what is going on here? Never works.
no. Hence you.
So I end up naked.
You
That's
end
how
up
it is.
naked.
But
maybe that's the whole plan.
maybe it is. But I'm comfortable naked.
I am also
like,
comfortable naked.
Well, I think some of that also for me comes from, God, being a competitive swimmer. I spent most of my childhood and most of my young adult years in a Speedo, like all the time.
I just hate clothing.
Yeah, there's that. You know. To be fair, I'm not a fan of clothing on you either. I prefer you naked. I like you naked. But yeah, so we played games like that. We've done Cards Against Humanity just to break the ice. We've done stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make it so it's more comfortable for people. Because when it gets down to it, we're people pleasers. I want to make sure everyone's having a good time. That's
Definitely.
the whole point of this. And that's one of the rules. Like I said, there are and there aren't rules for swinging, but one of the rules that I do adhere to is that everyone has to be having a good time.
Right. Everyone's having fun or no one's having fun.
And everyone that goes into everyone has the right to say no. If you are not comfortable in the situation, you say no, and it stops.
Right? And it stops.
It stops everyone.
Nobody is obligated to to play. Nobody, there is no obligation to follow through.
Every time we've had something bad with swinging has gone through, we've had something like that where we felt like
we
an
felt
obligation.
obligated, or we felt that we couldn't say no. And that's when things go wrong. You can always say no. There is no obligation. If something is just not working, it's not working, and it's okay to stop it.
Oh yeah, and we've really grown into that, and we do stop it now. Like if something like no. Fortunately, we've had some really awesome friends we've met, and
Yes.
and we all fully agree, and we all adhere to the same principles as well going through this. But any of them, I know at any point, if we told them like I'm not comfortable right now, they would stop. We would just okay, we'll step back,
Yeah. And talk it through.
We talk it through, and you should talk it through.
And that's I think that's huge. So much, and especially like right now, because there's so much more information out there about swinging. People are like, you have to really communicate in your base relationship.
But you also have to communicate in your other relationships
You have
too.
to communicate with the people that you're contacting and swinging with. So like, I mean, it's communication is so important, I mean, obvious with the primary relationship, you have to communicate because things will get.
Well, we have one couple that we played with. Well, we were gonna play with him again, and something was off. We weren't sure what it was. They were not communicating with us, and then they left.
And
that's
stopped.
fine. They left. Okay, they were like, we gotta go home. We're fine. And we're like, okay, fine.
And then they just stopped talking to us. We have no idea what went wrong.
I have no idea what went wrong. We have suspicions. We have guesses, but I have no idea what went wrong.
No.
And
they won't.
Nope.
They
won't. Ghosted. Completely ghosted.
Yeah. So it's not even like something we could like work through or adjust.
Nope.
And it's.
That's gonna happen though.
Yeah.
People do this stuff, and it happens, and I mean, it's not all gonna be easy to go through. It's not always gonna be a good experience. As much as it would be awesome to always have a great experience.
Right, every single time.
It's not.
It's
but
not.
The thing that we've really done over the years is we've learned. And that's why we talk all the time. We talk all the time to each other about everything. And even right afterwards, what did we like? What did we not like? What are we going to do again? What do we not want to do again at all? We've gone through this every single time. And we always go through. We still go through. We talk about it all the time. We're going to go on a 2-mile walk. And as we're walking, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. This is... But you have to do that. If you don't do that, then that's when things get lost. That's when things get muddied. And that's when, things start breaking down, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
So I think that was a...
It was a journey.
It was a journey of an episode for us. We are definitely going to have more episodes like this. This is how we're going to be going on. We've gone through most of our trauma now. So
we're going to try to stay on topic. We'll probably, most of our conversations in this way, where we start somewhere and end somewhere completely different.
That's fine. That's called life. That's called us. That's how we are.
That is how we are.
But hopefully you guys want to hear more from us and continue to come back. We've had such awesome feedback from a lot of people on both Reddit and even FetLife, and some comments we've had. Please leave a comment if you want to hear anything about us or want us to talk about anything specific.
Yes, please let us know.
Let us know. Leave comments. If you do know who we are on Reddit, you can contact me. I'm usually the one answering questions and commenting to people, but Sue's usually always right there with me. If you know us, contact us. Give us a shout out. Ask us a question. We will do our best to answer these questions, especially if you're new and you want to get into this and you just want someone to talk to. I have no problems talking to anyone. But we will see you. We're going to wrap this up, and we shall be back again next week.